Going on, guys? Flight Simulation Spirits here, back for a stream. Hopefully it's a successful stream today, as I had a crash yesterday. Not a airplane crash, but a sim crash. Happened midway through the flight on our way from Portland to where we're going to Denver, actually. And we're actually sitting on the ground in Denver here. Denver International Airport, ICO code KDEN, in the beautiful Canyon. I believe this is the Canyon colored livery, Southwest. Boeing 737, of course, PMDG. Just absolutely love this livery. And love the winglets too. It's got the double fan here, or the double wing. Super cool, super nice. Got the jet bridge already attached to the airplane. And we are going to be on VATSIM today. And let's go ahead and log into that, which of course I forgot to do. All right, so today we are going to be Southwest Airlines. Let me see what we are. Southwest 144. And we are Boeing 737, and we'll go ahead and connect. Think we have any ATC online. Got the ground power unit already connected. So let me just double check a few things here on my end. Make sure we're all good here on OBS, which I believe we are. Yep, everything looks good. All right, let's jump into the pit here. Before we get our passengers and our crew, let's just go ahead and establish some power to the aircraft. Like I said, I already got the ground power unit hooked up. So we're going to come on over here to the battery switch, click that to the on position, and then establish our ground power. Emergency lights can come to the on position. We're going to come on down over here. We're going to make sure our engine starter is going to be into the right position. We're going to go ahead and turn our APU bleeds off, and our packs are in the off position. Isolation valve is in open position. And we're going to go ahead and continue our flows here. The window heats are going to come to the on position. And we're going to set our iris modes to nav. Test our flaps, make sure they're responsive, and our slats, which they are. I'm going to go to the APU and bat bus. Actually, no, let's go to APU bat. There we go. Before we start the APU, we're going to make sure we program our flight. Make sure these buttons work. They do. Great. Chimes can come on as well as the seatbelt signs can come on. Come on down here to the FMC. The FMC, the FMS, whatever you want to call it. And we're going to go to the pause init page, and we're going to click on Oracle Cohen K-Den. And we're going to scroll to the right. I don't know why the GPS is not showing there. Maybe because it's not on yet. Let's go to index. Let's go to... No, that's not it. Let's go to index, yes, pause in it. I don't know why the coordinates aren't showing here. I'm sure I'm probably doing something wrong, but whatever. We will click that. And we'll go to the routing page, KDEN, to KPHX. Phoenix. Flight number today is Southwest Airlines. 144. Alright, that all looks good. And let's now go to our departures page. And according to SimBrief here, let's go to the SimBrief flight plan first. Let's go ahead and start up Pack X, and we are not going to play the boarding music. We will do a custom safety briefing. I don't believe we have Southwest files here, though. We do not. Nope. So we won't do the custom. We will do the flight number. The custom cars is not needed. Okay. All right, so we're planning for runway 25 on the Summer 2 departure. Summer 2 departure with the day transition. And then we're going to go to route, activate, execute that. And then we're going to go to our arrivals page. We have no waypoints we really need to plug in here now because it can go directly to the arrivals. It's going to be ILS 08 via the Eagle 1 or Eagle 2, I think it is. Eagle 6? Yeah, Eagle 6 with the GUP transition. And then that is it. Glide slope is on, and we're going to activate those. Go to legs here and make sure we don't have any vectors or discontinuities, and that obviously is the arrival. So from the transition of GUP, plug that right in there, execute that so our flight plan is connected. And there's a vector there. Jamil will plug that in right there. And we're good to go. Routing is in. Just go ahead and double check our route. Runway 25, departing out to Welcome, basically making a left turn. Go steps down here on the Summer 2 departure. On the Eagle 6. We should be coming around. Yep. And that should line us up very nicely. So it looks like the flight management computer is going to handle everything here for us, which is great. So then we're going to come on back now to PMDG setup now. Actually, we want to go to our FX. All right, I'm gonna have to turn this down a little bit. All right, that's a little better. And we're going to go to ground services. Do we want to do any ground? So we got the external power, ground power. No, we're not going to release the air stairs, air conditioning. No, don't need to show any of that. Portable water laboratory maintenance, fuel truck. All right, so the fuel, we will model to have the fuel truck come out. So let's go to request, and the fuel we are requesting today for the block is 17,319 pounds. Let's do 17,400 pounds. Plug that right in there. And the passengers, these are the stairs, stairs too, so they got 2 stairs. They have air stairs, passenger bus, cabin. That's pretty cool. So we'll click 115 on the passenger target here. And I guess you can't start the boarding because you need the air stairs. I don't really know. Still need to figure that one out. Wheel chocks are set, so that's good. So let's just go back to menu FSS and the doors. Obviously, we need to open the door. That could be why, maybe. So that would be the front main door there. Okay, good. If we go back to ground services, forward galley request maybe. I think that's the, what is that, a food truck? Yeah, catering. Okay, PMDG catering there. All right, that's cool. It's the forward galley food truck request, and then we're going to come on down here to forward loader target, forward carts. I don't know about any of this, so we're going to go back to FMC, and we're going to go to ref index. We're going to go to performance. And we're going to go to 370 on our cruise altitude today, which is correct. And the 0 fuel weight today. The fuel weight is 116.1, 116,100 pounds. And we'll double click that in there. 116.1. There we go. So it gives us a gross weight of 141.4. 25.1 total on the fuel. That is not correct. So we're going to make that change. We're going to put reserves of 2.2. And the cost index, we're going to change the fuel in a minute here. The cost index is going to be 38. Execute that. And the cruise winds average is 237 at 63. So it says fuel 25. The fuel we actually need is 17.4. Okay, so that is not correct. So let's go back to the index here, and let's go to menu, setup. That's the problem right there. So it's showing 25. We need 17.4 to be on the safe side, even though it's reporting 17.319. So 17,400 pounds of fuel, and then that should change it there. You can also do set full, all that. So we have a CG of higher of 136, and it's because of the passenger count. Let's see here. All right, so the fuel's in. Go back to return payload. The CG.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I would love to
Not the
welcome you
CG. The
aboard
zero
our
fuel
flight.
weight is, what is it once again? 116.1.
Carry-on items in the overhead bins and smaller items underneath the seat in front of you.
And then that changes. Okay, so 7 people in first class, 105 in economy, and the forward cargo 5,350 pounds, and the F cargo is 4,628 pounds. All right, so that makes a lot more sense. You go set empty, set random. Cool. Payload's good. Door is open. Pushback, don't need to worry about that. Maintenance and cruise, don't need to worry about any of that. So we're going to go back to our menu here, init, index. So let's go to our performance page again. And just to double check, 0 fuel 116.1, which is correct. We're going to N1 limit. We do have plenty of runway, so we're going to derate our takeoff and derate our climb to 96% of what the engine capacity is, and our takeoff is always flaps 5. And it'll populate our CG, which is 23.9, center of gravity, and a trim of 5.61. Good enough there. And V1, rotate V2. So 132 plus 5. (137). Flight directors can come to the on position. And we are looking good. Looks like it is time now for the APU startup. So let's go ahead and fire up aft pump 1. And go ahead and start the APU. Go ahead and listen to that APU. Monitor our EGD, excuse me, EGT temperature gauge here, exhaust gas temperature. Hydraulics can come to the on position as well. Start initial climb out to 15,000 feet. We don't have any VATSIM right now, but hopefully we'll have some VATSIM controllers closer to the runway. Closer to Phoenix. APU is now available. Swap over. APU bleed coming on down here to the ground power unit. Menu, PMD set, excuse me. Let's go back to FSS actions and let's go to ground services. Ground power can now be released. And we also can release our fuel truck. Just to verify, we have 17,500 pounds of fuel. Trucks are still set. A forward galley can be released for the catering. I don't know about that boarding process. Guess it's already done. It's like plugged in the number. I don't know. There's the APU. This guy should be taken off as well as this guy. Alright, we're going to remove the wheel chocks. Chocks have been removed. And I assume that it takes the jetway and removes that. Yeah, so when you remove the chocks, the jetway is removed as well. Okay. Gotta remember that as a mental note for next time. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and pre-plan here. Now we're taking off runway 25. So if we go to Navigraphs, let's just make sure we know the direction of the run, or which direction the runway is, so we know which way to push back here. If we go to airport, so runway 25, so we're gonna be pushing back with the nose facing to the west. So we go to pre-plan. Should work. All right. Let's go back to our menu page here. Excuse me, our init ref page, and everything here looks good. Back to N1 limit. This is our D rating, and then our takeoff page. Okay, so we're all good here. Go back to legs. Get our first officer on the legs page. You got to click that first, or FMC first for some reason, and then go to legs, and then it does it. All right. Go ahead and squawk 2000 for now. And we're going to turn TARA on. Panel light is not needed at this time. And radios, we are going to put Unicom 122.8. We could do a fire pump test. Cool. Stall warning. Overspeed warning tests. Checks. Flight recorder is on and running. Alright, so we'll get our first officer on plan mode, which I personally like, and then drive him out there. Alright, cool. So, flight directors are on. We're going to go ahead and get the latest pressure, which is 29.79er, which is both reporting on our primary PFD and secondary. And I believe we are pretty good. We should have probably turned the PAX on. So let's go to PAX to the auto position. Hear the air conditioning system coming online. And we're gonna now, ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck here, this is your captain speaking. Welcome aboard Southwest Airlines Flight 144, service to Phoenix. Flight time today is about an hour and 15 minutes, and looking at pretty decent weather along the route. Please pay attention to our flight attendants as they go through their safety briefing with you, and we'll check back in with you before we take off. Welcome aboard. All right, it's asking me what kind of message you want that to be. We want it to be a public message. Gentlemen, from the flight deck here, this is your captain speaking. Welcome aboard Southwest Airlines Flight 144, service to Phoenix. Flight time today is about an hour and 15 minutes, and looking at pretty decent weather along the route. Please pay attention to our flight attendants as they go through their safety briefing with you, and we'll check back in with you before we take off. Alright, so I think we're just about ready to go, so let's go ahead and close the door and remove the jetway. Come on down here to menu. Let's go to doors. We're going to go ahead and close. And then we're going to go to this guy. And we're going to go pushback, aircraft, jetway can go away, and pushback, request.
Cockpit to ground.
This is ground. Stand by.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome aboard Flight 144 with service to Phoenix. Our flight time will be roughly 1 hour and 38 minutes.
Hour and 38 minutes?
Doors now closed. We ask that you make sure that all devices are in airplane mode and your larger devices are now shut down and stowed. If you have not already, please fasten your seatbelt.
Right now,
it is low and tight across your lap. Your tray tables and seatbacks must be in the full upright and locked position for departure. Cabin crew, prepare cabin for departure.
Sir, the bypass pin is installed. All doors and hatches closed and all ground equipment is removed. Please set parking brakes.
Oh, yeah.
The parking brakes are set. You may lift.
Parking brake set. Lifting
Parking
the
brake
aircraft.
should have been set.
We are cleared for start and push.
Okay, cleared for push start. Please release parking brake.
All right, parking brake is
Parking
released.
brakes are released.
Commencing pushback. You can start the engines in sequence.
It will start in the sequence.
Fuel pumps on. Anti-collision light should have been on. Engine number 2 over to ground.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the flight attendants for a safety demonstration. When the seatbelt light is fastened, please make sure that your seatbelts are fastened low and tight across your lap.
What did I
Fasten
forget
each
here?
of the metal fittings into one another and tighten by pulling on the loose end of the strap. To release your seatbelt, lift the upper portion of the buckle. We suggest that you keep your seatbelt fastened throughout the entire flight as you may experience unexpected turbulence.
Oh, that's right.
Please take a
Backs
few
need to be
moments
off. Hello.
Now locate one of the several emergency exits on this aircraft. In some cases, your nearest exit may be behind
That's why you have a
In
checklist,
case
guys.
of an
Gotta make sure the
emergency
packs
and
are
we
off
need
when you
to
start the
evacuate
engines.
aircraft, there is lighting on the floor that will guide you towards the exit. In
Like,
the
what the hell did I
event
do
of a
wrong?
decompression, an oxygen mask will drop in front of you.
All right, 20% N1 as we can see there. Introduce fuel.
Place it firmly over your nose and mouth, secure the elastic band behind your head, tighten the straps if necessary, and breathe normally. Although the bag does not inflate, oxygen is flowing into
Okay,
the mask.
pushback
If
completed.
you are
Please
traveling
set
with
your
a child
parking
or
brake.
someone who requires
Brake set.
assistance,
Parking
secure
brake
your
set.
mask on first and then assist
Parking
others.
brake set.
Keep
Lowering
your mask on
aircraft.
until a member of the crew advises you it is
So we
safe
got
to
some
remove.
guy departed.
In the unlikely
Departing
event of a
ground.
water
You may
landing, a life
disconnect.
vest is located in a pouch
Okay,
under your
sir.
seat or
Cleared to
between the armrests.
disconnect.
When
Pin has been
instructed to do
removed.
so,
See
open
you
the
at the
plastic
side.
pouch and remove
Have a
your
good
vest.
flight.
Flip it over your head.
you.
Holding
Wrap the
position
straps
waiting
around
for
your
the
waist and
visual.
buckle at the
Thank you
front.
and
Pull the
goodbye.
straps to tighten. To inflate the vest, pull firmly
All right,
on
so
the
we got a
cord
good
only when
start on
exiting the
engine number
aircraft.
1. We're going to go
If
to
it
engine
doesn't
number
inflate
2.
automatically, you
Excuse
may
me,
blow
on
into
engine
your
number
mouth
2. We're going to go to
for
engine number 1
inflation.
at ground.
This vest is
Thank you very
equipped
much.
with
This
wishbone
guy,
lights.
we're going to come on up here. We're going to go to taxi light. Is going to come to the on position. Waiting for
Please make sure to
20%
exit the aircraft as soon as possible and leave your belongings.
of N2.
Please securely stow all personal items. Make sure your
There we
seatbelts
are.
are
Introduce
fastened
fuel.
and seat
Parking
backs
brake
and
is
tray
set
tables
there.
are
Everything
all
here
in their
looks
full
good.
upright position. We remind you that this is a non-smoking flight, and that includes vaping. Tampering with, disabling, or destroying the smoke detectors located in the lavatories is strictly prohibited by law. All of this information and more can be found in the safety card located in the seat back in front of you. We suggest reading this and letting your cabin member know if you have any questions. Thank you for flying with us again, and we hope you enjoy your flight.
Got 2 people taxiing here. Okay. Good start on engine number 1. Engine's going to go into continuous here. We're going to go ahead and swap over to gen power. Packs can come on. APU isolation valve can go to the auto position, and APU bleeds can come off. Excuse me, Gen 1 and Gen 2 bleed can come off, and the APU bleed can come on. Gen 1 and Gen 2 bleed air can come on, I meant to say. And we can go ahead and turn off the APU, which is right here. And we're going to come on up here. Yacht amper is going to come on, as well as window probe heats. And our altitude, which should have been done, is about 5,500 feet. So we'll report it to 6,000. And we're going to 37 here. And we're going to set this to RTO. Flaps coming to 5. 1, 2, 3. Flaps are now moving there. I'm going to do a quick flight control check here. Auto throttle coming to the arm position. And let's go to our status page here. And full up, full down, full left, full right. That just released our brake, and we're going to go ahead and arm our spoilers, which indicates there. And we are ready to go. We are on Unicom frequency 122.8. Go ahead and ident here. Southwest 144, Denver traffic, taxiing to runway 25. Let's give more of an accurate taxi description than that. Which, where are we here? Airport. And Denver traffic. Southwest 144, taxiing runway 25 via Gulf. There we go. Runway turnoffs can come on now. Should show 400, which is good.
The cabin is ready.
Thank you. Should be Gulf coming up here. And what is the And let's go to settings here real quick. Let's go to audio. I can't hear these people. Okay on that. Love this airplane. It rolls so nice too. You know, you give it a little bit of throttle and it just rolls out. Alright, so let's see what the runway heading is, which I believe is 025. Double check. No, it's 263 with 5,352 elevation, so 263. So we'll plug 263 in here. So 263 there. And we're going to go ahead and do our heading bug at 263 as well. And we're good. This timer should have been on already. Elapsed time. Alright, taxiing at 25 knots, which is pretty much the maximum taxi speed you're allowed. This guy's not reporting anything what he's doing. It was really hazy here earlier, and it's cleared up quite a bit, so should have some nice views on departure. There he goes. All right, we'll give him a few minutes. All right. Landing light's going to come to the on position. Wing light's coming on. Wheel well light coming on. This is coming on. Logo light's coming on. Engines in continuous mode. All these lights are on. We are good on our overhead panel. Flaps set position 5. RTO for our auto brakes. Caution light check, which we are good. Engine page can come on up. Let's go to our clock. And let's line up. Initial climb out on the, not the Eagle 6, it's the Whammy 4. What is the departure again here? All right, runway is clear. Auto throttle is on. Flight directors are on. Let's just do a recheck of the flight directors here. Cool. And we can now go to throttles up to 50%. Nose pressure down. And toga. What did I forget? $80 knots neutral. Oh, I think I know what it is. Alright, we'll deal with that in a minute. Rotate. Alright, positive rate. Here's coming up. Alright, so we'll retract our spoilers. Taxi runways can come to the opposition. Pitch the nose down a little bit here. Flaps can come to 2. Alright, so I think I know what's going on here. So if you go to menu, go to netref here, let's go to takeoff. That's the problem right there. So what happened is flaps 5 and V1, V2, and then here. So and then you need to do LNAV and VNAV. And then now it's telling, now that's why the flight directors. So there's two things I forgot. I did something in the FMC to make it reset the takeoff page. And that's what happened there. So we can go to flaps up now. And the reason why the flight directors were not showing is because LNAV and VNAV wasn't armed. And because the takeoff, and I was getting that takeoff config page warning because this reset itself, and I'm trying to figure out why it reset itself. I know there's definitely a reason. It's definitely pilot error. So landing lights come off 10,000 feet. These can go into off position, and the wheel well light can come to the off position. All right, so we're climbing out. Try to get back on target. Our flight directors, we are obviously nose pitch down for speed here. Autopilot's coming on. Alright, so after takeoff checklist, gears up, go ahead and lock the gear. Auto brake is set to the off position, gear is locked, lights are off, landing lights are off. Center fuel pumps, we don't need those. That's our 15,000 call out. All this here looks good. This is all set here. What's up with this freaking trim wheel noise? Okay, now we can take a step up to 25. We'll pretend that ATC cleared us to 25,000 feet. Put an altitude intervention there and 25,000. There we go. Yeah, so obviously I'm not using a checklist. This is all just off the head. If I was using a checklist, I would have remembered these things. Or that's what the checklist is for, so you don't forget important steps like we just made.
Traffic. Traffic.
Oh, speaking of that, I forgot to set this to TARA. So there's three things. So I missed LNAV, VNAV armed. We needed to reset our takeoff page, and the transponder needed to be set to TARA. We could also set this to terrain. So there's about 4 things I missed there. But on a positive note, we're still good. That definitely dropped our approval rating. That I think this is KCOS, which is Colorado Springs International Airport here. But yeah, PACX is satisfied at 86%, which is still good. And we are on our way. All right, we can set standard pressure. Standard. And not seeing any weather anywhere, so we're good there. Actually, I think this is Colorado Springs here. Yeah, Colorado Springs Airport is actually right there. On our way to Phoenix. I don't know what this thing is right here. What is that? What is this little thing? Huh. Not sure what that is. Or why that's there. Definitely a little bumpy over these mountains. And if we look at our Navigraph here, take a look at the summer 2 departure. With the day transition right here. Very nice. All right, so we hit 25,000. We're going to go ahead and say that ATC gave us our final bump to 370. And we'll click on altitude intervention there. And make sure we go to our cruise, which is 370, indicating there. And we can go to our destination page. We have 372 nautical miles to our top of descent. And we can go to the progress page here. So we have a 71 knot headwind, 72 knot headwind. So that could delay us by a little bit. We're gonna keep the seatbelt sign on for a little while. Maybe it'll the bumps will clear up a little bit once we hit cruise at 370. We're making our way up there. I love just looking out and just checking all the cool terrain out there in the mountains and snow and the water, and just listening to the sound of the flight. You know, the engines and the air rushing through the airframe, or past the airframe, I should say. Just absolutely love the sound when you're climbing or in cruise and you're just out looking out at the terrain. So when I pulled up the Navigraph charts here and I put it onto my second screen by clicking this button, it really killed the frames last time. See? Okay, so wondering if the frames are the same. Yeah, the frames look the same. Okay. Last time I did that and it really killed my frames. Trim wheel is not moving. Interesting. All right, went from 84 to 86%, so that's better on Pack X satisfaction rate. should have 1,000 feet to go here. It's kind of cool. So 1,000-foot call out. Turn the terrain off. Just a little bumpy up here. Ladies and gentlemen, from the front here, this is your captain speaking. Leveled off at 37,000 feet. See, it's a little bumpy up here. We're expecting some of these bumps to subside, hopefully in the next 20-25 minutes. So the seatbelt sign is going to remain on for the time being until we turn the seatbelt sign off. Check back in with you a little later as we progress in the flight. Ladies and gentlemen, from the front here, your captain speaking. Leveled off at 37,000 feet. See, it's a little bumpy up here. We're expecting some of these bumps to subside, hopefully in the next 20-25 minutes. So the seatbelt sign is going to remain on for the time being until we turn the seatbelt sign off. Check back in with you a little later as we progress in the flight. As it is quite bumpy up here, we're going to pretend that we requested to... Oh, we got Albuquerque approach on. We're going to pretend that ATIS gave us a clearance up to 390 because other pilots in the area are reporting that it's smoother air up there, let's say. So we'll go over here and we will go to 390. Look at that terrain, wow. Alright guys, enjoy the flight. I'm going to take a break, turn on some music for you.
our in-flight meal service. Please look in your seat back for our menu, and one of our crew members will stop by shortly for your order. If you would like to order additional menu items, please hit the flight attendant call button at any time, and we'll be over shortly to assist.
Gentlemen from the flight deck here, this captain speaking. See, we just started a slow descent into the Phoenix area. Should have you on the ground in about 30 minutes. Gate information, we'll have that once we're on the ground for you. Beautiful weather in Phoenix. It is 22.8 degrees Celsius, which that would make it 73 degrees Fahrenheit. Minor winds coming out of the west at about 5 miles per hour. We appreciate you flying southwest today. We hope to see you on another southwest flight. Flight attendants, please prepare the cabin for arrival. All right. Just a little PA announcement to the crew and our passengers. As you can see, we are starting a slow descent. Welcome you guys back. Hope you've been enjoying the flight so far. We have an altitude set of 14,000 feet. And we're going to go ahead and start plugging in some information for our arrival. So with that said, let's go ahead and pull up our arrival chart. Actually, let's pull up our approach chart first. And let's take a look. So our final course for runway 08 is going to be 78 degrees. All right, and the airport elevation is, what is it, 1,135 feet. So we're going to put airport elevation of 1,150 here. There that is. Okay, now what we can do is we can plug in our ILS frequency, which is 111.75. One 11175, 11175 in the standby mode for our nav frequency. And our minimums on the ILS approach is 250 feet. So we're going to come on to our minimums. We're going to do radial altimeter for ILS, not barometric pressure. So radial altimeter at 250. .250 on our radial altimeter. And let's see here. So we're on the Eagle 6. Auto brake is going to be set to. It's quite a long runway. Probably do. We'll do 2. It's fine. And we'll step down to 11,000. Still no ATC online. That should be good for now. There's Phoenix there. Airport's probably right about here. So it's handling the VNAV very, very nicely. Directly in profile here. Fuel looks good. Seatbelt sign is on. We'll go ahead and chime that again. So we are currently on the Eagle 6. And once we hit Geno, we should be at about 230 knots. Frames are bad. pretty bumpy here. So from looking at a METAR report here, showing the altimeter is 3010. We'll see what it shows in the altimeter for the Microsoft Flight Sim weather. 3004, interesting. Okay. All right, 3002 now. 17,000 feet. It is a bumpy day. Alright, so we're going to take a step down all the way to 6,000 now. Sync our bug. VNav is handling this arrival very nicely. It's following exactly what we're asking it to do. Just drop the speed to 250. Which is what it is showing on the charts. And then once we hit Geno, it should be at 230. Yep, 230 speed target at Geno, 12,000 feet. Alright, go ahead and arm our spoilers, which is indicated there. And we probably won't need spoilers for this arrival, but we'll just arm them now. Let's go to 7,000. Airport is somewhere over here. Somewhere over here. Somewhere over here. Just love the engine sounds. It's so good. Put our ILS frequency into the active position, 111.75, 111.75. It's a clear day. Once we hit Greeno, we're going to be dropping our speed. As you can see, it's dropping now.
We have begun our final descent into Phoenix. Flight attendants will be passing through the cabin to collect any trash one final time. Please ensure tray tables are stowed in the full upright seat.
That should be the 10,000 foot call out there. No, close enough. Landing lights can come on. Runway turnoffs can all stay off. Whoop. Engine can go into the continuous position. And let's go to menu and go to FMC. Actually, let's go to a knit ref index. Let's go to our approach. We're going to do a flaps 30 today. 1 at 32 plus 5, which is 137. Flaps 30. And yeah, we can leave that the way it is. Glide slope is on 111.75 at 078. 078 is indicated there. And we should be good. Now the wind is showing this direction here. So why should I be landing in the direction of the wind? That doesn't make much sense to me. Yeah, if the wind's going at 15 knots this way, let me check. Let me see what flight radars do. Hang on one second. Yeah, they're taking off into the west, towards the west. Yeah, I should not be landing on runway 08. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to deviate. We're going to hold, let's go to altitude hold at 9,000. Alright, so it's going to hold the altitude there. We'll keep the speed at 230. And then we're going to heading select and make a left turn here. So we're going to now get our charts out. Let's go to look for the airport, and we're gonna plan actually now for 25 right. See, 26 right will work. Okay, so let's go to ILS localizer 26. 26, okay. So let's plug that guy in. And let's take a look at the frequency. 111.75 is the same frequency. 250 is the, so it's 258. Go ahead and swap this to 258. We're going to plan for the ILS 26. And we're going to execute that. And let's go ahead and take a look at our flight plan here. So the first approach fix is O base, so let's just go direct to Jugar. We'll execute that, and then we'll actually remove O base. This is a purely vectored out flight here, as you can see. Total vector here. Okay, so we're gonna hold this position. And we're gonna come around over the mountains. Then we're going to come back around. So we're basically going to come all the way around this way and to runway 26, which is right there. Alright, and we're going to make a left turn. .137 is fine. And we're going to drop now to 7,000. Go to altitude intervention there. And she should start to drop. And I'm going to keep the speed at... Speed's fine where it's at now. Vertical, there we go, okay. And now it should drop. Okay, so VNAV needed to be rearmed. Okay, cool. Flight directors are back online. So this is now going to 200. We're going to intercept the speed, actually. Speed intervention. There that goes, so good. And we're now going to make a left turn. So far the aircraft is doing everything I'm asking it to, which is very nice. And we're going to go ahead now and we're going to turn the music off. Really pay attention here. 083 is fine. It's our 7,000 foot call out. That's our 1,000 foot call out there. So we're holding at 230. And let's turn a little bit over there to the left. So at our first approach fix, let's go ahead and just clear that message there. And let's going to be runway 26. So event at 5,000. Reset altitude. So let's go to... We're coming around here. So prune is our fix here. Is it prune? Jagal. Okay. So at Jagal, we need to be at 4,000. So let's go ahead and drop 4,000. .3011 is now on the altimeter. So the METAR report is correct. And we're going to go ahead and drop our speed now to 210 knots. And we're actually going to do vertical speed. We want to drop this a little bit more, maybe about 1,800 feet per minute. As this glide path indicator is coming back into where we want to be. Let's get some speed brakes out. Actually hold at 5,000, it's fine for now. Alright, let's go ahead and rearm the speed brakes. Probably won't need those anymore. And now let's go direct. Go to our legs page. And we're going to go direct Jamal. We're going to activate that. We're going to go LNAV, VNAV. And we're now going to drop to 4,000 feet. Altitude intervention down to 4,000 feet. 210 knots, so actually the speed is being managed by the FMS, Flight Management Computer. And this is coming back into profile. Beautiful. So far, so good here. We're looking pretty good. We're at 210. We're probably going to get flaps 1 out. Get the slats out. Alright, so we're going to hold 4,000 until we intercept glide. Got flaps 2 out. Gears coming down. And flaps 5.
2,500.
And flaps 10. There's our localizer there. And there's our path. And we're going to go flaps 15. And we have GS for glide slope here. .137, I believe, is our approach speed. So we're going to go to menu here. Init ref index approach. Flaps 25. And we are 132 at flaps 30. Go to final. Gears down, runaway turn off lights, everything's on, engine sets continuous, wheel well light can come to the on position. We are in the glide path, 3000 for mist, and speed brakes are armed, auto brakes set to medium, and let's go flaps full. We're a little low. Wow, these frames. Look at that, man.
Traffic. 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 Traffic.
Holy shit. Okay, these frames are horrible, and
Approaching minimums.
yep.
Minimums.
All right, my airplane, my throttles. There's some serious crosswind in. We're gonna continue, obviously.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
We almost smashed that, but we did it. We're all right. And we're at auto brake 2, so we're good. So we're at 16 knots. Go ahead and still those reversers and go over to manual braking here. And those frames are horrible. Line light's gonna come off. Engines could be set into regular position. We go ahead and retract our
Ladies and
spoilers.
gentlemen, welcome to Phoenix. The local time is 11:44 a.m. and it's currently about 73 degrees
Flaps can be
Fahrenheit.
retracted.
You cannot use your mobile devices. Please remain seated until the aircraft has come to a complete stop and the seatbelt sign is turned off.
I apologize for
Remember to
these
be
horrible
cautious when
frames.
opening the overhead bins as items may have shifted during the flight. If this is
Oh, we
your
made it.
final destination, we thank you for flying with us.
Flight director's
During
off.
the connection, we encourage you to check your itinerary to ensure a smooth continuation of your journey.
You should see the slats retract as well. There they go there. So good. Love it. All right. Let's go ahead and fire up the APU. Steady light on here. APU is firing up. Go ahead and turn the APU bleed on in a few minutes. What did I do there? I've seen the EGT rise. Not enough fuel? Yeah, fuel. Remember, do the packs need to come off to start the APU? Dual bleed. Oh, okay. Can't have dual bleeds on? Is that the problem? And let me get to the gate first and figure that one out. Go ahead and turn this off right now. Park right here is fine. It's actually light coming off so we don't block, so we don't blind our marshaller. We don't have one, but all right, parking brake is set. It's indicated there. And trying to figure this APU thing out. So So there's the APU firing up. That's good. We'll go ahead and cut power off here. Engine 1 and 2 spooling down. Engine bleeds are off. Alright, the power just shut off completely because the APU is not ready. Alright, so now power is established back to the aircraft. And that's what we wanted. Alright, so engine 1 and 2 is down. And we're going to go ahead and shut off. The hydraulic pumps can come to the opposition, as well as our pack systems can come off. Isolation valve can go to the open position. And APU bleed is on. Engine bleed switches are off. We can turn this fuel pump off. And these lights can come to the opposition. That's off, that's off, there we go. There's our Pack X, and we can remove the seatbelts as well as the chimes can come off, and we can go outside and we can get our jet fuel. That's not what we want that. Let's go over here and open the door. There we go. And let's also go to crew maintenance and go to ground services and get our trucks. And we want a ground power unit. So there's our ground power there. And we should have ground power now available, which we do. And then we can go ahead and turn off the APU. APU coming off. APU bleed coming off. And APU coming off. I believe there we have it. Turn the bat off there. You would have to do this here. So we'll just go cold and dark, and that's it. I should turn the yaw damper off as well. Okay. All right, folks. Not the greatest shutdown procedure. I'm still learning. Still need to. Still a little rusty on how the systems all work, but. Getting there. I'd say about 80% there. But we landed good, landed safely. And I appreciate you guys following along. If you liked the video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button or subscribe if you want to see more flight sim content. Take care, guys. I'll see you next time.